Hey guys, welcome back from part 1. This is part 2. Hopefully we don't need a part 3. I've got to go in a couple minutes here, so 10 minutes is super short for the stuff that I just want to share. But I just wanted to share with you that once in part 1 we talked about in the book of Job, where Satan was just like, this is blasphemy, this is cheating God, because you have a man down on earth, in his realm, in Satan's realm. You have a man down on earth who is abundant. He's abundant in health, wealth, and family. Wealth and family, with his plantations, with resources. Of course he's not going to smite you. Of course he's not going to be confused. Of course he's not going to be downtrodden like everybody else. Almost like a cat and mouse. Like a cat has the laser, a mouse, different things. It's almost as if Satan's oh, I can't even get through to this guy. And almost just pull down his barriers, just pull down his walls, just pull down the strength of his castle just a little bit for me to toy, and just to have a little fun, and just to see if he still is faithful to you even in the tribulation and in the challenges. And it's so easy for all of us to say, oh yeah, I'm obedient to God, oh yeah, I'm whatever, oh yeah, this, that, whatever. It's so easy for us to think that we would walk certain things, or perceive others, or vice versa, sweet, a certain way, that we would do something, right? So we would do a certain thing. We always have this, for us girls, we always have this thing in our minds that's ooh, if I was to have the perfect ideal response to this would be my Pinterest board for real life. And usually it's not that Pinterest board in real life. We can use it as a guide. It's kind of helping us to understand, okay, what's, if you want to say, socially acceptable for that, I don't know, I was thinking when you get engaged, or just different things like that, stuff like that, right? Oh, I want to respond like this, and did you respond like that? How was that response? How was that experience for you? So anyways, stuff like that. So I was considering, so God allowed Satan to literally shred from Job everything that was circumstantial, everything that was he even allowed him, when Satan went back, after he had literally stolen it and ripped out from underneath Job. Okay, cool. Interruptions. That's great. We have celebrations today, but yeah. So in the midst of shredding and taking out, ripping out, when you go through things in life and it feels why God, why isn't XYZ happening, or why isn't, I don't know, I'm not in that space. It was brought to me, so it wasn't even the whole story shared with me, and that's okay. But I have a pretty good idea of handfuls of things going on. And so as far as I'm just saying, I can't even put the narrative in there because it's not in my brain, but Job was in such gratitude, in such celebration of who God was and who he is and who he is every day, that he's abiding in the grace of God, because he's abiding with God. He's doing exactly what God has asked. And so even when he's being stripped of this, and even when he's going through circumstances in the world, how we have political leaders, we have, I'm not going to get into politics and stuff, but we have people that we look up to, and they could disappoint us, they're human, whatever, they're on their own journey as well. But then we also may or may not agree with everybody, blah blah blah. God gives us the anchor into our hearts of his truth, and to interpret that wisely, as well as to carry that in our hearts to lead us in everyday life, not just when it's good, especially when it's in the trenches of tribulations and challenges. And the people who it's almost as this, it's you guys, I have it in me, it's I know it because it's in me, and you're asking me to read this script. It's no, go read the script, go understand, go build the life with Jesus. He's going to make himself real to you more than even now. You'd be amazed at the world that will open up to you. Amazed. So anyways, so Satan went and stripped Job of everything. He even went back to the Lord and said, in celebration, I've stripped everything from him, but it must not be enough, because Job is not smiting you yet. He's not calling out to you and smiting you. He's not being resist doubt to you. He's not, casting you out. He's not, he's still faithful in his heart, celebrating and thinking that God is good. And like, why, Lord? Why would this happen to me? But also at the same time, in his woeful cries, he's also like, God is great. So he's still moving forward, and Satan is like, oh my gosh, this is not working. I have to go back to God, his creator. Our creator goes back up to God. He didn't acknowledge God as his creator, but he goes up to God. So even Satan knows that God is the one and only true boss. So he goes up to the boss man and says, God, I now need to create like family swords. That's interesting. Okay, family swords for somebody. That's interesting. I now need to create sores on this man's body, almost like when you get chicken pox. I call it the shells, the scales. What do you call those? Anyways, I don't know, and I'm sorry for anybody that has to deal with any type of this stuff. 333 on the clock. And so, anyways, so he goes down and he creates the physical, because the enemy. He scours and devours on the physical realm. He doesn't know anything in the spiritual. He doesn't know anything in the... He plays and toys with monitoring spirits and sends people into our lives to be monitoring spirits and try to figure us out and try to put us into boxes and blah, 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 right? On the emotional blah, blah, blah. To figure you out and to put you in compartments. So amazing. Here's the thing. God is spirit, mind, body, and spirit. He's physical, he's spiritual, he's everything in between. Satan is only earthly, he's only physical. So whatever. So let's start there. Anyways, okay, I'm gonna wrap this up because I gotta go. But yeah, he has monitoring spirits, he has demons, he does a lot of things that toy with your mind and your thoughts. He has people who come in and create distraction or diversion, or division. Kind of interesting. Lots and lots of different things. Okay, and so yeah, oh my gosh, just I'm showing all that. That's funny. I was going to share with you guys again. Yeah, so even after all that, then when he's physically sick, Job has I think 3 friends come to him. I want to say Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego, and then Job gets to be the 4th man. That's so interesting. I'm like, what? That is so not in the Bible. But in my brain, I'm like, that's an interesting metaphor that's coming through. Like, this man is going through fire. He's going through physical fire. He's going through, why, Lord, have you forsaken and abandoned me? I think he even had the opportunity to smite God and might have begun to do so. At one point, I heard that he did, but in my recollection of the entire book, he never once did he smite God. Okay, I just want you to know, never once did he condemn God or say, you have forsaken me, or da da da. Even in his woeful, sorrowful, heartfelt cries, like raw cries, never once did he betray and turn his back and heart and mind against God or turn cold toward God. Even when he had those who were monitoring spirits, in this case, close to him, who came to support him and help him heal on the physical level, his friends, and like I said, his family was ripped apart from him and lost. So it's like friends that were sent to him challenged him to say, well, is there any transaction of wrongdoing here? See, like, I've not done a transaction of wrongdoing. Not every single time that you go through suffering is it a transaction of wrongdoing coming upon somebody. Sometimes God is sending us into suffering to literally prepare us for what's to come in our destiny, what we need to rise up and become to be able to graduate, because the timeline of earth and the timeline of the spirit realm is happening a lot faster than what you're preparing on your own study guide. So God is throwing you into things. So it's like he was like, no, I haven't done anything. I've been faithful. I've done these things. Da da da. Okay, part 3 coming in. We'll make this quick. All right, ciao, bye.